Hey, welcome to the Strong Roots podcast. My name is Kristin Hill, and we are so excited that you're tuning in today. Our prayer is that you would move one step closer to Jesus through this series. So go ahead and check out this next episode. Hey, Strong Roots. I'm going to be answering another question today that you guys commented in, and it is a really good one. It says, I don't feel like I'm making an impact on people around me, or I don't really have people to reach. And I think it is so common to feel like, personally, I am not making an impact on people, or I feel like my sphere of influence is so small. But we all know as Christians that Jesus' statement of making disciples of all nations is a big one, and it's something that we can't ignore. And if you are listening and you are feeling like you are not making an impact on the people around you, or you do not have people to reach, I want you to know that you do. And to help you figure out your spheres of influence that you can maybe focus on right now, wherever you're at, I want to ask you a couple of questions. The first one is, what does your impact on your family look like? Jesus says in Mark 10:45, even the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve, and to give his life for a ransom for many. Are you serving your family as though you were serving Jesus? One of the greatest impacts we can make in this life is serving our families. It has taken me a really long time to figure this out. I still really struggle in this department, but something God has taught me, I really like to serve other people outside my family. I don't know if any of you can relate to that, but that feeling that I get when I'm serving somebody else, whether it's cleaning somebody else's house so they can come home to a clean house, or making a meal for somebody else and dropping it off, I get so excited when I serve others in that way. And I feel like Jesus is like, I want you to serve me like that. So now I'm still in the process, but when I'm folding laundry, and maybe to you this sounds really cheesy, but this is how it works for me. I'm like, Jesus, I'm doing this for you. I can't wait for you to come home and see that all this is done for you. When I am serving as though I'm serving for the Lord and not for man, not my family, it is worship. And this is something I feel like there are so many things we do throughout the day that we don't like to do, but if we changed our mindset and actually did them for Jesus, it would be a game changer. I want to ask another question for those of you. Maybe you're like, no, I serve my family well. I got that down good. I want to ask you this question. Are you praying for people to reach? Maybe you feel like you're not reaching people, but are you praying for it? I remember about 8 years ago, I was not reaching people. And honestly, I didn't really care. I think I was content just learning about God and growing myself. And I remember there was this moment where I told John, I just confessed it. I was like, I don't even have a heart for reaching people. And him and I started coming together and praying, God, help me to care about people. Help me to reach people. And it was only when I started asking God that he started changing it, that he started bringing people into my life to share Jesus' love with them. So if you're feeling like you're not reaching people, are you asking the God of the universe to bring people into your life so you can reach them? The third question I have for you is, when God does give you an opportunity to reach someone, are you taking advantage of it? Because who are you coming in contact with right now? Is it the grocery store clerk, or moms at the playground, or your neighbors? Who are you interacting with? And are you building relationships with them? And I feel like so often when I am living for myself and just going through the routines and the motion, I am blind to every single person and every single opportunity that God has brought into my life. So I think this question is so important. Are you taking advantage of the opportunities that God is giving you? And this doesn't mean evangelizing every single one of them and asking them who Jesus is to them. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, are you loving? Are you kind? Are you serving them? I think the best way that we can do this is by actually serving those around us. And so I want to end us with this challenge, okay? Are you being intentional with the sphere and people that God has placed around you? I named 3 things, but I want you to pick one of them. Because I think if we're like, okay, I'm going to try all 3, I want you to pick one of the 3 things I mentioned. And I want you to pray that God would give you wisdom and opportunity in one of those areas. So maybe it's for you, it's serving your family. Maybe this is the sphere that you feel God calling you to do. Maybe it's praying that God would actually give you a heart to reach out to people far from him. Or maybe for you, it's taking advantage of the people that God has already brought into your life. And I don't know which one of those three speak to you the most, but I want to tell you that any time that I've stepped out and asked God to help me increase my capacity and love in those areas, He has never failed. And so start by praying it once. Just pray once. Ask God to show up and ask Him for the eyes to be able to see all that He is doing around you. Thank you so much for asking these great questions, and I cannot wait to meet you next time for the last question. If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure to follow us on our other social media platforms. We don't want you to miss out on any future content. Thank you so much again, guys. I hope you have a great day. And I want you to know I am personally praying that your roots stay strong.